Welcome back. I'm PJ.
I'm Dabi.
And you are listening to the Episodic Anime Podcast. This week we are covering My Hero Academy Season 6, Episode 4. So, the episode kicks off with Dabi, or actually it kicks off with the kids riding in the taxi of Fat Gum, but...
Oh, Faxi, I think.
Faxi, yeah. But... right after that, it pans over to Dabi really going through a lot of emotions and just taking it out on Hawks. And I'm starting to learn that Dabi no longer is holding back on them, man. How do you feel about that, Tommy?
Well, you said this episode started off with Fat Taxi, but it didn't. It started off with Bird Boy talking to Hawks. And then he's like, you got a weakness? And Hawks being like, if I had to pick a weakness, it'd be fire. But I always counter that by just handling it before fire. Anyway, fast forward to Dabi just immediately burning the dude's wigs off. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. How do I feel about Dabi going all out on Hawks?
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited because Dabi told Hawks his actual identity.
He did.
Yes, he did.
And I have some theories about that, but I'll save it because they never really went back to it. It was all because I hate it when shows do that. They show the man talking, but there's no lines.
Well,
and it irritates me every time they do it.
I agree with that, but in this case, I took it as he revealed his identity to Hawks. And it basically raised the stakes because Dabi could kill Hawks, and then it's oh, you've killed a few villains, and villains killed a few heroes. Even playing field, it sucks that it was Hawks because Hawks is such a cool character, but he killed him off. It's just part of the gig. But now he raised the stakes by going, oh, here's my name, and I'm going to kill you. To where if Hawks gets away now, that's a big win for the heroes because they get to figure out who Dabi actually is, and they can track him down and stuff. So it basically raised the stakes, which means if Hawks dies in the next episode or upcoming future, it has a higher meaning, in my opinion.
Yes, it does. It has a lot of weight behind it.
Yeah.
But the last thing we see of that whole battle right there is it panning down to the rock guy holding his radio, and then it immediately jumps over to Group B, or Group A, I think was the hospital.
Oh, I have no idea. But they also showed twice dead.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Confirmed.
Twice is absolutely confirmed dead.
Yeah.
But Rummy is struggling because the upper Nomu are finally fully awakened, which I think they just get more intelligence, and I think I wasn't quite understanding when she was talking about them fully being awakened.
The higher up Nomu, they're basically taught Nomu. They have brain function, whereas Nomu are just dead corpses reanimated to fight. These guys have higher brain functions where they can strategize, use strategy and stuff on the battlefield. So, we even see that during this episode whenever he's like, my quirk's gone. Well, it's not that guy. It must be that guy. So I gotta figure this out. It basically means that they have thought process compared to blind rage.
Yes. Also, when she was figuring it out, it kind of stuck a target on Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's going to avoid everybody and take out Eraser's eyes.
Well, yeah.
So it doesn't happen.
Or maybe at least one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, Rummy's done a lot in the show. And, literally, she ended up breaking the tank, but she took a lot of damage through the upper Nomu. To where Endeavor had to end up using his fire to castrate certain wounds on her body to save her life. But, that ended up making one of the upper Nomu go, yes, the number one hero is in my guy. I'm going to kill him. It'll make me feel better. I don't have good feelings. I feel like Endeavor's going to get messed up again. Or that Nomu's just going to be absolutely obliterated. But, Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Do you think the bunny girl's making it out?
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Here's do you want my theory or should we wait until later? I think the bunny girl's fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
What about Endeavor? Do you think Endeavor's going to get hit up in this battle? I feel like Eraserhead's not going to make it to Endeavor to, help him out with that Nomu. So I feel like it's going to be another one-on-one.
I think
But
a bunch of the heroes in this fight are going to get smacked around and all that. I don't think Endeavor has won. The bunny girl got smacked around. Obviously, they're setting up Aizawa to get smacked around. Hell, President Mike might get smacked around. Endeavor? I think he's good. I think he's fine.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also, speaking of President Mike here, that man made it to the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Barely made it. Barely stopped the doctor. Broke the tank. Shigaraki fell out. Then we see that him with the doctor running away. The doctor reveals a big thing where the whole time they were after Eraserhead for his quirk.
Right.
When he was talking to President Mike. And then Shigaraki wakes up with a bolt of electricity, and I want to know how you feel. How will that change the tide? Like, yeah, I was about to fix that. Shigaraki waking up, I feel like has a huge impact on the way this battle is about to shift in that hospital. I feel like a lot of people are going to die really fast, really quick. Endeavor's going to end up retreating with pulling people out because they're not equipped to fight Shigaraki, even at 75% complete.
Oh yeah, no shot. Yeah, for sure.
But I'll continue.
No, I
didn't mean to
no, I'm dumb. I will, but before we get into that, I do have a few things to talk about before we go into predictions. As example, let's rewind it back to Dabi. Dabi burnt the wings off because it literally did cut from him going, my weakness would be fire, and then it smash cut to him with his wings on fire, but it's blue fire, which is supposedly supposed to be hotter fire, all that jazz. You know, if it is or not. I think, if you want a theory, now, Hawk's wings can regrow back. I have a feeling Dabi's going to burn him so bad that his wings won't be able to grow back, but I predict Hawks will live from this, and he will reveal Dabi's true identity. That's what I predict. Now, I will say Dabi did bring up an important question, because while he's talking to Hawks, he brought up Stain again. Stain's one of the characters that died very quickly whenever he was introduced, but almost every season he's been referenced. And now with it being season 6, he's been referenced again. And Stain, being just a guy who wants to die and show that the world heroes are bad people, I don't know why he's brought back up through Dabi, because I don't really get the purpose. Like, I understand kind of why Dabi's here, but I don't get what Stain has to do with it.
I think it's Dabi really took his morals harder than anybody else, because he literally went like, screw League of Legends, screw these guys. Stain's where it was at. Stain had the right idea, and I'm like,
okay, all right, fair enough.
The man may be the next Stain.
And then let's jump over to earlier. Were you saying Bunny Girl? She's a badass, and I got to be honest, it made me like her a lot more because she got impaled a handful of times and still went, See, the thing about heroes is we don't give up, and then she just kept kicking the case, even though there was Nomu bits through her legs and thigh and stomach and arms. So yeah, she got messed up, and she's also just lost an arm.
Yeah.
And if you're asking me if she's going to live through this, my prediction is she will, but she won't get that arm back. That arm's gone. It's shriveled up on her left side. So that's my prediction. I think she'll be fine.
Very much.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have any more predictions, but I do have a question about Shigaraki. So Shigaraki fell out, and as soon as Mike was like, I gotta get the doctor out of here, and he ran off.
Okay.
And he gave some random no-life hero to be like, hey, watch him. And the dude was like, absolutely. I was like, all right, Shigaraki's gonna wake up and just decimate that man. And judging on he hasn't, I guess the first thing of next episode, he will stand up and go, goodbye, and just
100%.
erase him from existence. Yeah. But he is at 75%. And
who are you?
He's finally out of the tube. He's at 75%. He got out of the tube. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, he's not at 100%. 75 is a big percentage compared to 0. And I was sitting there thinking, why is he in the tube? I know they're like upgrading him, but what is he upgrading him? And then the doctor got to talking. And the doctor said, All for One took my quirk and left me with a copy of my quirk. And my quirk is basically to live as long as a normal human, but twice as long. He has a copy of that. But in order for his quirk to work, he said he can live twice as long, but in exchange for fighting strength. He said in exchange for strength, which is why the Doctor's so weak and all that. But if All For One took the quirk, doesn't that mean All For One is now theoretically weaker? Even though he's still strong, it still makes him weaker. So All For One's not even working at full capacity.
I feel like All For One is one of the weakest villains. But the fact that he has so many quirks stacked up.
And then, while the Doctor was talking,
does
this mean what Shigaraki was in the tube for? Was he getting All For One's quirk right there? Was he getting, like, transferred all the quirks and he's becoming, like, the apprentice and actually taking over? Is that what's happening in the tube? Oh, so this guy's about to become bad guy number 2. Oh, man, that sucks that he came out at 75%. Now, I do believe that, besides that, it's also boosting up his main thing. And at the end of the episode, we do see him. He's no longer Mr. Hands. He had the hands on him, and the hands resemble his family holding him back and basically keeping him to the good side, you know? I think before this episode, Shigaraki was kind of in the middle. He was more favorable towards villains, but he wasn't a bad guy. He just had a bad circumstances with his family getting murdered by his quirk and all that, and he didn't mean for it. It was just kind of like bad circumstances. This episode, I think he gave all that up. In his dream, he turned his family to things, and it's basically his family was the only thing holding him to the good side. And now that he turned that to dust and fully embraced All For One, I think Shigaraki is no longer ambiguous. He's now all in on the bad guy side.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, 75% still going to be strong. Anyway, that's all the topics I brought, and I think that covers up my predictions as well.
Yes, it does. Shigaraki, heroes have the momentum as of right now.
Yes.
I feel like momentum of Group A will be lost next episode.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like Deku's going to be absolutely retarded and jump into the battle earlier than he should.
We didn't see. We didn't see Deku, actually. Yeah. I will say this about Group A, because you brought it up earlier. You said, is anyone going to get hurt? Is Endeavor going to get hurt? And I said, no, Endeavor's fine. Just to make that clear, that's against the Nomus. That's purely against the Nomus.
Yep.
Now that Shigaraki's awake, yeah, they're going to need to leave. There's no more battle here. I feel like the guy with the eye lasers is going to turn to dust. They're going to fight Nomu for probably all the next episode, and Shigaraki's going to walk very slowly towards them. And then when Shigaraki arrives, they're going to go, ooh, we got to get out of here. I sure hope Present Mike doesn't get hurt, because I enjoy Mike a lot, and he's pretty cool right now, yelling at things.
Yes, he is. But that was mainly my prediction for Group A, is Deku and Bakugo are going to jump into the fight earlier than they should. The group's already lost. It's worthless to get into that battle at the moment. But jumping over to Group B, yeah, the stone guy might get involved. But you know that huge explosion you heard as it panned down to the stone guy right after he was going to throw a firebomb at Hawks?
Yes.
I feel like that loud explosion was not from Dabi. I feel like Bird Boy is he left the fat taxi to save his mentor. I feel like he jumped in and Dark Shadow threw a huge attack at Dabi. So I feel like Bird Boy's jumping into the battle prematurely as well.
That's a good prediction. Because I didn't even think about that. Because yeah, you're probably right. I bet he did go. I gotta go help Hawks as soon as that fire came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good prediction.
Yep.
I do have a question for you before we end
Alrighty.
it, but we don't have to do that right now. Continue doing.
Well, that was the end of my prediction. That's all I had.
That's a good prediction. Sticking with Group B.
Yep.
It's
Group B is the mansion.
Okay. Have we seen Denkei's father, or has it been a secret?
I think it's been a secret.
The electric boy. What if that electric guy that supercharged him what if that's his father?
I would lose it, man.
I have no idea. I mean, they could have in like season 2. They could have been like, look, here's his parents, because they showed a lot of the kid's parents.
Yeah.
And I was just not paying attention. But with him having like a lightning bolt on his like hair as well, I was like, are they related?
Yeah, but the quirk is totally weird because like he doesn't make lightning; he controls it. That's why you needed so many tasers. So the quirk,
but quirks can change.
The quirks can change, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know his mom's quirk, so I can't really like compare and contrast. Yeah. So
well, Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you're listening on Spotify and you enjoy it, please rate us 5 stars. However, if you're not, you know what? Throw that all out. Scrap all that. I don't want that one. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, please rate us 5 stars. And hopefully, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.